Hello fellow cinethusiasts, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reels movie review. Today is Classic Movie Thursdays, my version of Throwback Thursdays, and I am here once again with
Kimi.
Woo!
Yay!
And we are in the midst of doing reviews for the Thin Man series, and today is the fourth Thin Man called
Shadow of a Thin Man, is that
Yes, you're right. So in Shadow of a Thin Man, Nick and Nora are back in LA. They were in New York in the previous movie, and now they are back. It was a few years later, and as I said, they have a kid. The kid is now about
like 3 or 4.
Yeah, and it begins with Nick and Nick Jr. in the park, and it's probably one of the funniest beginnings to a movie. He's walking around with Asta and the kid, and on leashes. Good parenting right there. And Nick wants to read the races. He wants to know what's going on, so he actually sits down with the kid and he reads Nick Jr. the races.
As a fairy tale.
As a fairy tale, yes. He sticks it in the book and reads it as a fairy tale. And then by the time they get back to their place, and Nora is all excited, she's like, "Oh, Dad read you a story. What was it about?" And he goes, "Son of a gun is 40 to 1. So Nick and Nora go off to the races, and Nick actually gets pulled over because he was speeding, much to Nora's annoyance. And the cop was very slowly escorting them to the race. And all of a sudden, a flood of police cars and ambulances come by them, and they, now they're off to the races, because Nick is, speeding, and Nora gives him the dirtiest look I think I've ever seen. And when they get there, they find out that a jockey that was supposed to be part of the race has been killed. And then all the cops, of course, get in. They're like, "Oh, Nick, how did you find out about this?" And that's how Nick winds up getting tangled in the case. And then not too long later, two rival reporters get into a bit of a brawl, and one of them winds up dying. So there's 2 cases now, and once again, it's actually someone that you really wouldn't expect, and especially this time because they're actually not in it that much.
Yeah, there's too many people.
Yeah, there's a lot more people.
Story.
Yeah, there's a lot more people than usual in this one. Once again, Nick and Nora Charles, William Powell and Myrna Loy are wonderful together. I think in this one, actually, Nora gets Nick back a lot.
She does.
She gets him back.
She's not as ditzy as she was in the last one, I think. I mean, they dumb her down a lot, but
this is the starting of the dumbing down of Nora Charles to fit convention, the women of society at that time and men's views of women. But she's on the case, she still got a lot of information.
She did, yeah.
I think she
suckered her way into it.
Yeah, she definitely did. She suckered her way into a lot of things, and she did wind up getting a lot more information than Nick this time. She wound up just pointing things out, and I think she did that a lot more than she did in the previous 3.
She definitely did,
But this was at the end, they kind of make her the conventional woman, and I can't see Myrna Loy having a good time with that. But as you can tell, I'm a huge Myrna Loy fan. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a bit. I know there was a few things with this movie that she didn't like, and I think that was one of them, is that they were dumbing Nora down quite a little bit.
The maid, she didn't like.
She didn't like that the maid was African American and was portrayed as this really stupid person. Back in the story, you have Lieutenant Abrams, who is in the second one, played by Sam Levin. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he was in the second one, back again.
I like him.
Yeah, but they made him stupid too. He's really, really goofy.
Yeah.
I was they're kind of MGM, or the writers seemed like they were trying to up the ante and make their characters a little.
The only smart one is Nick.
They make
it look like.
Yeah, and that kind of bothers me. You brought up a really good point, because it's now they're just making Nick look like he's a smarter one and dumbing down everybody else, even though we know Nora's not dumb. She's smart as a whip and really, really quick.
Yeah.
And you also have Donna Reed in the cast, probably in one of her first major starring film roles. I'm not sure don't take me on my word for that. But she was good. She was good, but I have to make a connection in this movie. If you are like me and love Ava Gardner, you will know that she had a small walk-on role in Shadow of... Yeah. And you have to really, really look in the background. You have to know that she is just literally a walk-on.
Walks behind him. That's it.
That's
and
it.
She's gone.
At this time, MGM didn't know what to do with Ava Gardner because she was so beautiful. They had trained her. They had gotten rid of her North Carolina accent. But she was, like, so pretty that they just really didn't know what to do with her. What a problem to have, right?
Of all the problems.
Yeah. So they stuck her in as extras in a movie for a while. So I'm going to make this connection. It's like, if you know your movie history, you're going to be good with this. So Sam Levin was in The Killers, which was Ava Gardner's first big starring role with Burt Lancaster. That is a fantastic movie. And then Donna Reed was in From Here to Eternity with Frank Sinatra. And if you know anything about Frank Sinatra, he was married to Ava Gardner. And without Ava Gardner, he would not have gotten From Here to Eternity because he was so broke at that time. He didn't even have the money to get down to where they were filming it. So, woo! Big 360, big 6 degrees of separation right there, I'd say. Well, it's MGM. Everybody's, all connected there. Asta is in this movie a lot. Asta is like the main focus almost of this movie. He literally gets dragged everywhere.
He was like best supporting role.
Yeah. In the movie. It was like they took him to the department store. Nick took him everywhere.
He went to the apartment. The bar. Out to eat. Did he go to wrestling? I don't think he went to wrestling.
No, he didn't go to the wrestling.
No.
Asta was everywhere. It was like, test audience was like, put more Asta in. We want more Asta. I'm all about dogs and stuff, but Asta gets a little too much sometimes.
He's so cute, though.
He is, but I want more Nick and Nora. I want more.
Plenty of Nick and
Nora.
Nora.
There's never enough Nick and Nora. In my mind, there's never enough of them. One of the best scenes in all the Thin Man movies is where Nick, Nora, and Nick Jr. are sitting down to dinner. And, of course, Nick has to have his cocktail. But Nick, always. And Nick Jr., obviously, he's going to drink milk. He's not really going to eat and drink what Nick and Nora are having. So he yells at his father. He goes, "Daddy, drink milk." So Nora is getting Nick back because Nick said, thanks for the kid or something like that.
Something like that.
And then she goes, "Much obliged, anytime." And he's like, okay. So, to get him back, she tells their maid to go get Nick milk and to take away the alcohol. And Nick is going like, oh my god. He's like, hold it. He just gulps it down and it's like the worst thing in the world to him. And Nick Jr. is just like all happy.
Yeah.
And, as Nick Jr. is like egging Nick on, Nora gives him a little jab and she's like, you always wanted to be a father, you know? I love that. That was like one of Nick and Nora's best jabs at each other. I love that. I thought it was so funny. I remember watching that the first time and I was like, this is genius. It's so genius, and it's genius because of the way Myrna Loy and William Powell just work together. Her faces in this one almost rival
the other one.
The first one, really.
Yeah.
It really does. She was
in the car.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
when he's singing in the car, that was funny.
Yeah, she was giving him looks like, oh my god, shut up. Shut up right now. And then it's really Nora in the end that saves the day. We forgot to throw that in there. Yeah, she always saves the day somehow. And but in this movie they go to wrestling matches. Yeah. And and Nora's sitting there going grabbing Nick, and she's getting all into it. And that was really funny. That was another scene that was really good. And I think it was good because Myrna Loy, MGM always wanted to, or Louis B. Mayer always wanted her to be a dramatic actress. And that's what she was really outside of the Thin Man movie. She was more dramatic. So to see her kind of go like this and grab Nick by the head and be silly, and him just being like, whoa, Well, like him enjoying it. He likes seeing her let go, I think. That was really cute.
Yeah.
That was good. And then in the end, she uses that to save the day because she's Nora freaking Charles. And she is incredible. Shadow of a Thin Man was not the best one of the series. It's cute. It's a good time. Like we mentioned, our favorite scene was the dinner scene. Nora had some great scenes. Nick is still funny. He's still got the faces. Nick and Nora are absolutely fabulous together. William Powell and Myrna Loy. You have to sit through their movies together. There's no way. If you
love Nick and Nora, you're still gonna love any of the Thin Man movies.
Yeah, because they're just great. And it's just so much fun, even if the series gets a little out of hand, even if the stories are a little much and Nora's not the same anymore, you still have to watch it for Myrna Loy and William Powell.
Yeah.
You really do, because their chemistry was just so good together that it's like, it really just sucks you in. Thank you for watching our review of Shadow of the Thin Man. If you like this review in any way, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for future movie reviews and future Classic Movie Thursdays. As always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.